We are taking a look at a hand of a lady whose age is approximately 25. That's the approximate age. We are trying to see her hand, and I would try to tell you about her career part and the finances part and the marriage part. So the first thing that whenever we try to read the hand, the first thing that comes to our mind is basically the hand structure. That is a very, very important part in the palmistry reading. Generally, people think that only the lines in the palm are important. These lines are important, but apart from the lines, even basically the hand structure matters the most. If the hand structure is reasonably strong, it basically is indicative of the person's hold over people, money, resources, and the subject that they are studying. Very weak kind of hands, basically, if a person has a very weak kind of hand, very feeble kind of a hand, it would mean feebleness in thoughts and feebleness in actions. But out here we are seeing a strength in basically hand, so it is considered to be a good sign, the first thing. The second sign is basically the length of the mercury finger. The length of the mercury finger appears to be a little bit short. See, whenever the mercury finger, the finger of knowledge, the finger of communication, the finger of technical skills, communication skills, business skills, all these kind of skills basically come from the mount of mercury and the finger of mercury. Mercury is the smallest planet, so the finger is also the smallest, shortest. Now, in comparison to other people, if the finger of mercury doesn't reach this particular line of the sun finger, then this finger is considered to be short. I've seen practically whenever I find the finger of mercury to be short, these people's desire for knowledge basically they increases. The thirst for knowledge basically increases. So they keep on studying, they keep on studying. So this is where they keep on basically studying. So this is one aspect of their personality. But the negative aspect is when this particular finger is comparatively shorter, what it does is that this is the finger of communication. So I'm just drawing a communication tower, a short tower and a long tower. So a long tower reach over people is going to be much more compared to a shorter tower. So this might mean a shorter tower in her case. The other aspect is if this is the tower and a person is standing right besides her, so what's going to happen, the signals are going to reach people far and wide, and she will be able to receive and emit signals to people far and wide, but the signals who is standing real close by, this is where the signals do not reach. What it basically means is that these people kind of a distance get created between them and their loved ones. It could be in the initial years, parents or other people. So distance gets created. So these people need to keep on communicating. This is when things would be much better. So uh, it's better not to create distance between the near and dear ones. It's not purposeful, but it just happens. So this is a weakness they need to basically overcome. Now the other part of the hand is the heartline and heartline and the headline. See, both these lines are evenly balanced. There's a reasonably good gap between them, so it brings in predictability in their personality. So these people are easy to predict. It means although they are not communicating in the most effective way, they might communicate with people far away, unknown people, in a very, very effective way. But with close people, the effectiveness somehow doesn't apply. It also means that if they're communicating with 50 people, they would be able to communicate in a very effective way. But the interpersonal skills with the near and dear ones, this is where the person might be lacking. So we were talking about the heartline and the headline. Both these lines are evenly balanced, so a very predictable personality. So people love to know, like people like to associate with predictable kind of people. So this is a positive aspect. Now I'm just zooming in over the palm, and this is the maximum zoom I can basically do right now. So what we do is we just draw a money line. This is a money line, and this is the headline. So the intersection out here is age 35. The intersection of the heart and the money line, this age is 53. So on the money line, this portion of the life is before the age of 35. This portion to this portion is 35 to 53, and this portion is beyond the age of 53. So you would notice as the money line touches the headline, there's a break kind of a thing that is happening during that particular period. So this is when few major events might take place. We would also take a look at the left hand. Generally people think that left hand is the hand for women and right hand is the hand for male, but I say both these hands, I refer both the hands to come to the conclusion. So the money line that is breaking on the headline, this might bring about some trouble or the other in finances during the period of 35. Now whenever there are trouble in finances, it might lead to trouble in other aspects as well. So it could be personal life, it could be the main earning member in a family, their health or wealth might get affected, or more responsibility comes onto these people's head somewhere around the age of 35. And beyond the age of 35 there are two lines of fate, so two sources of income is likely to develop. Then as it crosses, the money line crosses the heart line, somewhere it ends at the age of 55 and another line basically develops beyond that. So this is what the career graph is going to be regarding the sun line, the career line. This is basically the career line. We are seeing the career line before the age of 35, but beyond that we do not see any career line from 35 to 53. Absence of the line does not mean no career at all, although there is a career line that is starting from the mount of Mars positive area. Mars positive area is the area of coolness, calmness and tenacity. So probably these people would be known for these particular qualities in their personality, and their name and fame is also going to come from that particular direction. The strength of the line as such is reasonably strong. Reasonably strong lines basically signify these people would be able to give good amount of energies to their work. So this is what it is, and it's a basically a good sign to have deep and clear lines. Deep and clear lines give better result than weak kind of lines. Weak lines are lines that are not clearly visible. So that's not considered to be the best kind of lines. I'm just going to take a look at the uh, left hand as well. See, in the left hand what we find is that in the left hand there's a gap between the life and the headline. So these people are rash by nature, outgoing by nature, they don't miss any opportunities, but there's not too much of a gap. So too much of a gap would bring about too much of rashness, but that is not there. So a reasonable amount of rashness is there. So this is one part. Towards the end of somewhere after the age of 35 or so, there's a branch in the headline. Branching in the headline basically means that these people are able to see and visualize things from two different perspectives. So this is what it is. Regarding the heartline, this is the heartline. Heartline has got few branches over it, so the focus of the person basically gets disturbed. So for success, it's generally said that people who are focused, they get the maximum result. People who lack in focus, or maybe they get distracted, this is when they lose their path. So I would advise her that whatever she has taken up, she should stick to whatever she's doing, and that's where her basically strength basically lies, and she would get success uh, in a career if she doesn't get distracted and remains committed, because these branches might mean lack of commitment, but these branches are not so strong, because some people what they have, this is the heartline, and some people have got very strong kind of branches hanging. Very strong branches means more strong distractions. The weaker kind of lines means weaker kind of distractions. So weak lines have got lesser significance of distraction compared to stronger lines. But even if there were no lines, no branches at all, and a single kind of a line, that basically is a better indication than having more lines as such. As far as this particular area goes, this is the area, this area I've already told you, this is the area of Mars positive area, this is the Mars negative area. The word negative is doesn't mean any negativity, it's just the name of a planet, and this area is the area of anger, aggression and fire. See, anger and aggression and fire uh, is the main part of anybody's personality. If a person gets angry over wrong issues, the chances for success basically decrease. So people who have these kind of like lines out here, they have a tendency, they just have a tendency uh, to get like their fire is uh, not managed properly. So my advice for this person would be to kind of contain their anger and aggression, because consider something like this. This is the lifeline. So this is basically the life path. Consider this as the life path. This is starting and this is the ending. Consider these lines, these crossing over of lines is something like, uh, I'm just going to remove it. This is the lifeline, means you are traveling in your car on this particular path. Consider these horizontal kind of lines are the lines that are coming and striking the lifeline, means a cycle or a scooter or a car coming and striking the lifeline means they're going to strike the lifeline and they would have an impact. The lines that cross over and touch the headline, those lines are basically touching the headline, means your thought process. So these are lines of oppositions. So uh, and these are also lines of getting angry over wrong issues, and maybe the stomach also gets disturbed. Stomach is the main area where uh, where your health basically is governed by. So people who have a little bit disturbed amount of mass, they should try to eat right and eat at the right time. Everything should be right, and they should sleep at the right time. That's when think their energies are going to be contained and managed much more properly. One more thing I need to add out here, the heartline is ending somewhere close to the heart area. The Saturn mount. Saturn mount is the area of responsibility. Saturn mount is the area of money management, and this is basically the area of being grounded. So this particular lady basically has the heartline say ending somewhere on the mount of Saturn. So these qualities come into this particular person. Saturn is also the planet for money. The heartline that ends on the mount of Saturn basically signifies that these people angle towards money. So people who angle towards money, they basically have the capacity to make more money. People, if they are in service or they are in business, it doesn't matter. You have to angle towards money in order to get money. So people who have their heartline ending somewhere out here, they have got a better possibility of making money compared to people whose heartline reaches the first finger. That's when the person is too idealistic, and the person, every person wants money. This person is idealistic, yet because of the society they also start to love money. I'm not talking about this particular person, but a line, if it is long, the heart line, and touching out here the heart line, this is the area of Jupiter. This is the other possibility I'm talking, that is not present in the hand. Those people, whenever they have the tendency possibility to make money, they might lose the opportunity money. But this person might not lose the opportunity to make money whenever the opportunity arises. Same indications can be seen regarding the fate line, even in the left hand. On the headline, the money line is breaking up and two lines are developing. It's not that two lines are better than one, even one line is good enough, but break basically signifies few changes that are likely to take place in her life during that particular period around the age of 35 or so. And uh, you would notice in her basically uh, left hand as well, the finger of Mercury appears to be shorter. It's only reaching probably only this particular portion. So uh, she needs to she needs to kind of communicate better. That's when things are going to be much better, and distance won't be get created between near and dear ones. Regarding the amount of Jupiter, it appears to be a bit padded. Bit padded basically signifies good amount of, reasonably good amount of Jupiterian quality. Jupiter qualities is the area of, this is the area of administration, religion, politics, honor. So these people want all these things, so they would basically have a possibility to get all these things in their life. And normally in books, it is said the longer the Mercury finger, the better it is considered to be. If it crosses this particular line of the ring finger, it is considered to be long. But even in my practical experience, I have found a chancellor, a vice chancellor, even he had a very short finger. So a short finger as well as a long finger both basically gives result. So, but a shorter basically mercury finger would increase the thirst. They would always feel that their knowledge is not complete, and they would try to further study, and they would keep on studying and studying further and further. And the area of the mount of mercury is also of importance. Mount of mercury is the area of knowledge, and if there's a perpendicular line out here, so the person has got good set of skills. If the line was much more stronger, I would have said in a much better way. And just going to take a look at the uh, other hand as well regarding the mercury mount. The mercury mount, the good part is that it has got very few lines over it, and the lines that we see are perpendicular. These are independent kind of lines. So one line means one set of skills, two line means two set of skills, and more than two or three means those many set of skills. So we do find those lines out here, but the thing is that a single line is good enough. Single strong line is good enough. Single strong line would mean that one set of skills is there, very prominent, and that's the only thing that is required. You don't need to have a very too many lines out here. Only then the person is going to be successful. Just one line is good enough. As far as the headline and the heartline goes, the headline appears to be a little bit longer, so the person would be headstrong, and the person would be able to contain their emotions. This is one part of way of interpreting, and the other part is the headline is leaning a little bit downward. It's not leaning too much downwards, nor is it too straight. See, what it does is, if it's leaning too much downwards towards the mount of moon, the headline, it would mean too much of imagination. If it very straight, to practicality. But because it's somewhere in the middle, so this is where it gives a balanced kind of a nature, and it's a very predictable kind of a nature. So that's considered to be an extremely good sign to have, and that brings about good results in one's life. So uh, out here I would basically end the video, and rest reading I would give over the phone. Just one last thing, this is the Saturn, this is the Sun mount, the line in between. One palmist, different palmist told me the line in between tells about some formal or informal education what the person does, that basically becomes a career at a later stage, and that brings good amount of result in their life. And thank you for watching this video. Bye and take care.